Another reading from Goddess of Liberation. Like, comment, subscribe. Oh my god. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here to film my favorite books of 2022. I'm so excited. I love every single one of these books, but I tried to get them in some kind of order. I wouldn't say they're in their precise location of where they are on my list, but they're like grouped together of like my least favorite to my most favorite, I guess you could say. But I have a total of 10, which I did not do on purpose. I was like, I'm just gonna pick up all the books I like this year and see how many I didn't know I was gonna have this many, but I'm glad to have 10. First, what we're gonna start off with is my favorite manga series of all time at the moment. No one has dethroned her, but Spy Family volumes 1 through 8. I read all of them this year and really enjoyed them. If you didn't know, Spy Family Volume 1 follows a spy who has a new mission where he has to adopt a child, marry a wife to infiltrate this school, highly elite school, in order to find out more information about his enemies. I really enjoyed this. I remember when I first picked up the first volume, I started it and I put it right back down because I knew I was gonna like it too much. But I really enjoyed this. I've read every single volume that is out. I'm not finished with the TV show just yet because it's quite similar. I'm new to this manga anime world, but I don't know how I feel about. I like when people take liberties, I'll say that, when it comes to translating a book to a different media form. But next on my list, I have Here's to Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. This is the second book to their What If It's Us. This is the first book, and it follows these two young boys, one from Georgia, one from New York. And the guy from Georgia, he comes to New York. He interns, but I don't think he was interning. Well, he interned somewhere differently in the first book to this intern, but I like the messiness of it all. That's a common theme throughout all of my favorites, but I like the mess. I really enjoyed this. It was really cute. That's all I have to say about that one. Next, we have The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. Oh, this is another one where I've come to realize that I kind of like this in my I don't want to say chick lit, my literary fiction, I'll say that, where it's kind of just like we're following a family or this group of people, and it's nothing major is happening, but we're following them throughout this timeline of their life or this major event that happened in their life. And I just like being like a fly on wall in their life history, if you could say. But this follows two sisters who pass as white, and they leave their small town and travel to the big city, but one ends up coming back home while the other goes off and continues to pass as a white woman, while the other one goes back to their small town where everyone knows her and knows that she's black. And it just follows the different timelines of their life, and it's really good. Pick it up if you ever have a chance. The next book, Black Girls Must Be Black by Jane Allen. This is the second book in this series. The third book comes out later on this year of 2023, but I gave this 5 stars. That's why it's on my favorites list. But I gave the first book 4 stars. The first book is called, oh, it's behind me somewhere. I don't know where. Oh, is it up? Oh, here it is. But the first book is Black Girls Must Die Exhausted by the same author. I gave this one 4 stars, but once I read the second book, I was like, oh, this may be my new favorite series. I really enjoyed this. It follows a woman named Tabitha. She is a news anchor for her local news station. And in the first book, she gets this terrible news that she has a condition where her eggs are dying, and she has to come up with a plan in order to save those eggs, or whatever she wants to do moving forward with her body and her future. But I don't want to tell you what happens in the second one before you read the first one, but we follow her decisions that she's making after receiving this news, what she's doing with work, friends, family, her relationships. It's a really fun time. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to get back into this world later on this year. Next, tried and true. I don't think I will never not pick up one of her books, but we have Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is set in the same world as her Evelyn Hugo world. I'm not sure if this is not Six of Crows. What's it called? Daisy Jones and the Six in the same world. I'm not sure if Daisy Jones is in this. Well, she has to be. There's probably some like little Easter egg or something that connects all three. But this follows one of Evelyn Hugo's husbands. You don't have to read one of either of those other books to read this one, but if you did know, this follows one of Evelyn Hugo's husbands and his life. Well, not really his life, but his family that he created with this woman, where he's abandoned their entire family. And it's basically how these children are coping with the emotions of having a father that's who constantly ignores them, and he's constantly brought up because they're all moving on and going on and doing something with their lives in the entertainment field, but it's constantly brought up that they're the children of this famous singer, but no one knows how what his place is in their life, and it's not a good one. It's a really heartbreaking story. I didn't know it was going to be that heartbreaking, which I don't know how I did not know that, because it's Taylor Jenkins Reid. But I really enjoyed it. The messages of sticking together with your siblings and making a way out of no way. It was a really beautiful story, and I can't wait to read the book I picked up in my holiday bargain book buying, the Carrie DeSoto, which she was mentioned in this book. So this is her next book is a continuation of this Evelyn Hugo Hollywood stories mix thing. But yes, I really enjoyed that one as well. Next we have Redemptor by Jordan Ifueko. This is the second book to the Raybearer duology. I'm not sure if that was a dream or something, but I heard that there may be a continuation to the story. But here's the first book. I read this in 2021. It was my favorites of this year. And the way that Raybearer ended, I thought I wasn't going to enjoy this as much as I did, because at the end of Raybearer we get an inkling of what she has to do in this book, and I thought it was going to be a much larger part of this story, but it wasn't, so I really enjoyed that. But if you did not know, Raybearer follows a girl. It's an African story. It's a fictional African country, fantasy world, where she's being raised to murder the prince of their nation. Her mother has a vendetta. We don't know exactly what it is in this book, but her mother has a vendetta against him, this royal line, and wants her to end it. So she's entered into this competition to become a member of his council, get closer to him, and to eventually murder him. But this is the Raybearer duology. Look how beautiful these covers are. These are the Fairy Loot edition. I think Fairy Loot makes the best editions. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one, where the story went and how it concluded, if it's concluded. Jordan Ifueko, if you're watching, let me know. Okay, next we have a surprise. I was not expecting to like this book as much as I did. The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I read a Grady Hendrix book years ago. It had to be at least, I don't know, so long ago, I have no idea. Years ago. But Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. And when I picked this up, I had no idea it was by the same author until I looked on his Goodreads page. But this book follows a group of women. We really only follow one woman of this group who joins a book club with this woman. It's a small neighborhood. small town. They all join a book club together where they read true crime stories. A stranger moves into town, and they're all curious. Of course, in a small town, everybody wants to know what he's about, why is he there, who are his people, that kind of thing. And so all the women, while they're discussing the books they're reading for that month, they're also discussing him. And at the same time that this new stranger has come to town, black children in the neighborhood on the other side of town, on the other side of the tracks, are going missing, and no one's talking about it. So this book discusses a lot of morals and what I can do to save my butt without having to worry about what's going on over there, ignoring what's going on. It's essentially in the same town, even though you're in a different group of people, and what these women will compromise in order to keep living the life that they want to live. And it's really good. I pre-ordered his next book. I read another book by him also this year, The Final Girl Support Group, but I did not enjoy that one as much as I enjoyed this one. I highly recommend this book if you like murder mysteries and if you like vampire stories. I did not believe the news when everyone was saying, oh, vampires are coming back, but I think there's like a new vampire show coming out, and then this vampire book, and I have a lot of vampire books on my TBR. But yeah, vampires may be making a comeback, and I really enjoyed this one, so maybe they are. Okay, next we have Reaper of Souls by Rena Barron. This is the second book to Kingdom of Souls. This book follows a fantasy world set in an African setting where this girl, we follow a girl, and her parents and her grandparents, they are high magicians, magical people in their communities. Everybody's looking forward to her receiving her powers to see how powerful she will be. But year after year, at each ceremony, she doesn't receive her powers. And this book discusses what odds she will go to live up to her family name, and what she will do to get powers, even though it may not be her destiny at the time, and what shenanigans happen. We have betrayals, twists and turns. I really enjoyed this book. I think I enjoyed it more than the first, but I'd have to reread the first, but I really enjoyed this one. Can't wait for the third. It's already pre-ordered as well. Okay, next. The book that has cemented Neal Shusterman as one of my favorite authors of all time, The Toll. I read the conclusion to the Scythe series this year. If you did not know, I didn't bring down the first book. The first book is Scythe by Neal Shusterman, and it follows a utopian world where no one ever dies. All death, all disease has been cured. No one dies. You're able to be resuscitated. So in order to control the population, this world has created a figure called the Scythe, who they go out and kill people in order to keep the population down. So in the first book, we follow two teens who have been chosen as to join an apprenticeship with a scythe, and so they are able to be trained and become scythes themselves and all the things that they get into in this world. The conclusion was amazing. I did not know how Neal Shusterman was going to wrap this up, but I'm so amazed how his brain works and how he was able to get all of this wrapped up, and how I don't even know how to say it without giving it away. I recommend everybody pick this up. This was so good. Oh my goodness. And next, I guess since it's my last, I put this last on my list. Probably my favorite book of the year of 2022, Call Baby by Morgan Jerkins. Okay, I wanted to come back and give a better description of my favorite book on this list, because I didn't like how I reviewed it in the clip that I did film. That's probably not going to go in this video. But my favorite book of the year of 2022 was Call Baby by Morgan Jerkins. I picked this up after a panel at the Mississippi Book Festival in August, and I really liked the themes she discussed that were in her book. And so Call Baby is about, it follows this black family that has this, the story is based on this superstition that people who are born, or babies that are born with the caul, that the caul follows them throughout their lives as a protective layer above their skin. And so this black family that Caul Baby follows, they have taken the position of selling their caul. They scrape their caul off and give pieces to people in order to protect them or cure some kind of disease that they may have or illness they may have. And we follow a family that sells their caul. We follow an attorney that is trying to prove that there's something going on with this family. And then we also follow a woman who was denied caul by this family. And no one is making good decisions in this book, so that's what I find very interesting, because you understand why they're making the decisions they're making, but it's really frustrating because you're not on their side, but at the same time you're like, but I know why you're doing this. Because the people that are against this family in the book, they are wondering why that they don't sell caul to people in their own community. It's set in a borough in New York City. I can't remember the borough off the top of my head, but they only sell to rich white people. And so that's why what they're being investigated for, and that's what's going on without the entire book. But I really enjoyed this book. I'm really looking forward to reading more books by Morgan Jerkins. I'm going to keep a lookout to see if she's coming out with anything in the near future, because I really enjoyed this and it was really a surprise. And I hope everyone who watches this video at least picks it up and gives it a try, because I feel like I've never heard anyone talk about this book. So if you have a chance, pick it up. You may like it. If you do pick it up, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so those are my thoughts on all of my favorite books that I read in the year of 2022. I hope you enjoyed me rambling on about these books, and I hope you all leave down some of your favorite books in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on my social media at LaurenAM011 on Twitter and Instagram. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.